Hey everybody, TJ.
It's Pete, what's happening, man?
I know we're two educated guys trying to figure this out, man.
Word. And we're not sure if you saw it, but definitely on Christmas Eve, we went down there to Skid Row, one of the most densely populated areas with homeless people in Los Angeles and maybe in the whole world. Yep. So we went down there, EJ had the idea. He said, hey, you know what? I'll just let you explain it, man.
Yeah, man. So my big thing is, like, at the end of the day, there's people in need, right? Every day we live these lives of just, like, having an abundance of stuff, right, but we're in this mentality of we don't have enough, right? Which is like an endless cycle. So, I just came up with the idea of, like, let's give back, right? Let's have a day. We get people together. Let's give back. Let's go to them and walk to them and give them food and help them out, kind of just to ease their mind, man. So, it was just an experience for everybody. I wanted to get everybody together who wanted to do something about it, because I really saw that realistically there was a lot of minorities, especially black males, right, and everybody else, especially in Skid Row, there's a lot of black males that are homeless. A lot. I mean, and there's a sprinkle of everything else, but you kind of see there's a lot, like so many that this is a humongous city and nobody ever talks about it, right? And it trips me out because everybody's always talking about Hollywood, blah, blah, I'm gonna make it, blah, blah, but nobody ever talks about this big homeless population, right? Like, you see these red carpet events and everything, but nobody talks about the homeless. People talking about adoption, people talking about all this stuff, but they never talk about this issue, which is so big. The homeless, every block you go to in California, literally, there's going to be somebody asking you for money because they cannot afford to either live here or just even afford the necessities because of whatever situation that they're in.
Yeah, man, it was just kind of eye-opening to see all those people, of course, minority black men, and you just kind of get to thinking, like, damn, like, where did they go wrong? Like, was it one event? Was it many events? Was it always like this? Do they want to live like this? Like, is it more peaceful for them down there? And we got down there, we were talking to some of the guys, like, some of them had, like, regular personalities, still full of life, guy, making jokes, and he seemed like one of those older guys that you can just see around the neighborhood and was like, hey, man, one of those type of things. But then when you don't have a family structure, you don't have all those other things, that you just being that good-spirited guy is not enough to be able to provide, especially in an area expensive as California, Los Angeles. I mean, you can go down the block and see people driving a Ferrari right down the street from Skid Row, where people literally have, like, nothing. So it's just kind of crazy to see that dynamic and see a lot of those people that are in there, and like the fucking, like, kids. I mean,
kids
people
in there.
People like our age, people a little bit older than us, younger than us. Like, I'm passing a sandwich to a little girl and she's like, oh yeah, thank you. Like, sounding like she had to be no more than 17, 18. But homeless and in that situation. So it was.
There was girls that was 8 years old, right? There was little girls 8 years old and they walking through. You know what I'm saying? Their mom had to be like 18, 19 years old. Like, it was just crazy.
Right, and it's like, and luckily we were walking through in the day, so imagine and we were walking in one of the better parts of Skid Row, they said, which is no real, like, better. I mean, it's still people are homeless, and it was all, like, lined up on the streets. But if we would have gone to the more even densely more populated area of Skid Row, I don't even know what that would have been. And I can only imagine at nighttime, where it's like, where you're in a area full of people who have nothing. Yeah. And you have something, quote unquote, whether if you got a tent, some food, whether if you panhandle for the day and you got some change. Imagine people with nothing to lose in that environment, all closed into each other. So that, I mean, just imagining something like that could be scary.
Yeah, I mean, there was a situation there where, I was walking with the kids. We were kind of leaving. This dude goes, I'ma see you, right? Just real gangster. Like, I'ma see you. I'm thinking, like, okay, they playing him, because normally you think they playing around. This dude pulls out a knife. He's like, I'ma see you. Like, he's about to stab him. That's when I was like, hey, everybody, we all need to go. Like, y'all, we need to go.
Well, shit.
Yeah, no, like, this was, like, kind of like towards the end. I was like, yo, we need to go. Like, hey, everybody, let's go. Because he's pulling it out. No, he was, like, doing it to another guy. Like, he was doing it to another guy. He goes, I came to see you. Pulls out the knife. And I'm like, yo, we need to go. I'm telling everybody, they're kind of looking back like
this is broad daylight too.
And this is broad daylight.
And Christmas Eve.
This is broad daylight. I'm trying to cover it up so nobody pays attention to it. But this man put it out, and I'm watching him. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, it was tripping me out because we just talked to a guy who he had 2 different personalities, right? So some of these people, so like kind of to break down the complexity of what happened. So pretty much we're feeding people, and then there was a guy who came up on a bike, right? He just rolls up. And we were like, hey, do you want a sandwich or whatever, right? And he was like, yeah, you know, I take a sandwich. And then he starts talking like a girl's voice. So it's like, yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind a sandwich either. You remember that guy? He was talking like a guy's voice and then a girl's voice. I don't know where you were at, because at some point you were kind of like ahead of me. Yeah. When I was in the back. So like he kept talking, so like in one, so but he was talking normal, like he was just like,
so he would talk normal, and then like
he
midway
would switch
through,
over. Yeah, he'd be like, yeah, you know, I take a sandwich. Oh yeah, I want one too. Yeah, you know, but he like, you can kind of tell this is a normal thing. He wasn't gonna hurt anybody. So then I turn around, and then I seen the guy saying like, you know, I came to see you, and the dude was like, something, my dad. And the dude pulled out the knife. I'm like, yo, we all gotta go. Like, yo, let's.
Yeah,
we got kids.
We had kids with us.
We had kids with us. So it's like, you know, the stress over the smallest things. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Which is crazy. And then before that, you know, it just shows the reality of things. How everybody here still wants to make it. That's why you gotta make your goals realistic, right? Because there was a guy, he started rapping. Were you there when the dude was rapping for us?
I was there when he was rapping.
See, he was rapping for us, right? He was rapping. He had a dope freestyle was dope, but he's saying he's gonna be on TV, he's gonna make it. But the reality is, like, he is in a tent in this area, right? So he doesn't really. So that's why it was so eye opening, because it makes you realize that sometimes you gotta fall in love with the moment, not the future. Because a lot of people live in the future. You see that mentality a lot in Hollywood, where people are just like, yeah, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. This is going to happen, and then their current situation isn't the best, right?
Or not even, like, taking steps to, like, you know, it was crazy. He was rapping, and maybe he heard, like, yo, if you rap in front of, you know, the right person to see you, and they can put you here, and they can do this for you. So I'm guessing his mentality is like, you know, whoever comes around, whoever I see, I'm a rap in front of them. But if you're rapping in Skid Row, and granted, you know, there are places in Hollywood where, you know, that could happen. Yeah, you know, there's a chance it could happen. I mean, you could literally Kanye's house is probably like a half an hour away. You could literally walk up to Kanye Drake's house and, you know, maybe by some chance get put on. Yeah, but it could be that. Well, but yeah, it's that kind of mindset that would have people in that situation to have them hold on to it. Maybe not even with actionable steps to be able to make that happen. Yeah, but they're not even thinking in that, or even manner. Have that they're money to like, have that happen. He's just like, yeah, I'm out here rapping. Yeah, you know. And I'm gonna make it. Like, I'm gonna be on TV. Like, he's talking. It's cool speaking into existence. Yeah, he's speaking to existence, and he's talking it. But then you're looking at the situation, like, not saying that it won't happen, but you kind of see it where he's at, where we're at, what we're doing, what he's doing, and you just realize, like. What tripped me out was I looked at that. This was my realization of what's the difference between this guy right here and a guy in Hollywood who's doing the same thing, and they're both in the same situation. It's just this guy is further along in this process as far as being homeless than this guy. It's just so many other factors that go into that. Everybody's literally shows you that in reality, everybody's literally a step away from being homeless. Everybody. They say that you're one event away from being homeless. And the thing is, we don't know their situations. Their parents could have passed away. They don't have a support system. You know, things happen when you get older, right? Maybe you did something messed up to the family, they're not accepting. We're just guessing all the bad things, right? Or maybe just in general, everybody's struggling because we're in California. We're in a place of hopes and dreams. People will promise you a hope and a dream before they pay you. That's just reality, right? So, like, kind of seeing that, kind of seeing, like, the homeless kids, and all these people were in high spirit, and they were so prideful, but the situation wasn't the best, you know? And they were holding their, you know, this is me being honest, like, they were holding themselves up, and they were doing the best they can do, you know? But it was just so funny how people, they make themselves comfortable
in the most horrible situation, right? So then we gotta look at that and say, well, you know, and mentally I'm like, well, is that good or is that bad, right? That, like, I saw a lady, she had a tent, but if you look inside the tent was all done up. There was a bed inside the tent. There was like all this stuff in there. She had a couple of people in there, and I want to say there was music in there, and I want to say there was a music. I want to say she had a TV. I'm not sure but I was kind of seeing like, but the fact of like standards, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, are they in a position to where this is a place where they want to be accepted at, right? Because I had a friend tell me a long time ago, if you are talking to yourself and you have a mental issue, you want to be around other people with the condition because you feel accepted, right? So the thing about this, which is interesting to me, is a lot of people just think that these people are just on drugs, right? Some of them are on drugs, right? But you kind of see that a lot of them are normal. Something fucking happened. Yeah. And this is just us seeing it. It's normal. Just something happened. For one day. Yeah, something happened. Number two, some type of mental illness, but they're not really harmful, but there's some type of thing going on, right? Where they just need attention. Now, in California, they don't have wards. Like, it was like psychiatric ward. They don't have that here, right? They don't really have anything for mental health. That's why it trips me out when people fall in love with this Hollywood, but there's so many under the radar things that are happening that people aren't even exploring. Like, nobody explains how bad the homeless situation really is. And then the third thing is, yeah, I mean, it could be drugs, right? It could be drugs, you know?
But yeah, man, we definitely saw a lot. Definitely let us know what you think below. Make sure you check out the video. 2 Educated Guys. Peace.